I remember running into you. We were doing something. We've only done a million things. And you came up to me where I think we're at B&B Sound. And you said, you're never going to guess who I worked with.
Wait a minute.
And I said, okay, you're right. I won't. The Beatles. And you said, close.
Yes. I was just thinking about this story. Tell them.
Yes. And, by the way, and there's a documentary about the person I'm about to mention that will kill you to death. It gives me,
I can't believe
goosebumps.
This is,
yeah.
I was going to say, go ahead.
We're physic.
Yeah.
And he goes, he says, you said, well, I mean, all I can tell you is this, I've never worked with anybody this incredible, anybody this legendary, anybody this, and I said, okay, what was it? And you go, womp bam loo bam da womp bam boom, I got a girl named Daisy. And I said,
almost drive me crazy.
Richard,
got a girl named Daisy. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm blowing you out. Little King Richard, and Jimmy and I are, rock and roll.
Oh, forget about
to
it.
the bone. And Chris. It was an episode of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
I walked in and it was about the birth of rock and roll. Mm-hmm. And I got there and Gordon said, hey, Robbie, I know you like rock and roll. You know who's in today? I said, no. George Carlin coming in? Because he was on the show, but he recorded by himself.
Oh, yeah.
And he said, no, Little Richard. I sat next to him
Mount Rushmore's
again.
Coming in.
Yes, and everything. He had the makeup and the do, and he was all so fine. I mean, he was spiffed up. He had a posse of boys coming with him.
Yeah,
woo, all over the place. Woo. And I think that's the only time I've asked for an autograph. I had my script, and I said,
"Yeah,
Mr. Sure.
I remember you told me that."
He said, "To Rob, God loves you so much, Little Richard." And I thought, oh my God, Richard Penniman is right here. Check this out. I said, Jimi Hendrix was your guitar player? He goes, yeah, I had to fire his ass. And I said, why? Because he's too pretty. He's too pretty. This was my show. They come to see me.
He was too pretty.
Now, he did fine. He was a nice young man, God rest his soul. But I fired his ass because he's too pretty.
Yeah.
He's too pretty. And then, check this out. I'm sitting next to him, and he says, Gordon, I don't mean to be, bothersome. I mean, I'm glad to be here. How late will we go today? And Gordon said, we'll be done in an hour. Oh, that's great. And he said, because Eric is picking me up. We're going to see Paul at the Forum. Eric Clapton and we're going to see Paul McCartney.
Wow.
Yeah.
I get home.
That works.
And it wasn't pretentious because he knows them.
Well,
and those guys,
no, they know him.
He inspired them.
Yeah.
And I'm really just freaking out. And I got home and I told my wife, here, look at this, not going to believe. And that night on the Channel 4 News, I said, well, we're going over to a big event at the Forum, and there's Little Richard and Eric Clapton and Paul McCartney.
Jeez, oh man.
I lost my mind.
Oh, yeah. What do you do? What do you do with that?
Jesus, I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah. Oh, it's unforgettable, and I wasn't even there.
Oh, my God. Well, we all. I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches, brother.
Oh,
ain't
it the
I hope I
truth?
didn't blow you out too much, pal. Good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what a ride, huh?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Man.
And it's good, and hopefully some of you out there actually know who Little Richard is.
Yeah.
Because, all of a sudden, a lot of my references are all of a sudden, who? I'm so sorry.
Jimmy and I were the entertainment at the Last Supper, so we've been around for a while.
That's right.